What's up, guys?
Hello.
It's your boys, Karl and Tom.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast and there's some people right next to us. It's just kind of weird.
Car.
Podcast in the car.
Soundproofed.
Yeah, this is the pod. And we casted it all the way to Millbrook.
We're sat outside Halfords.
Yep.
And Sofa Store.
And we're going watching new Avengers movie.
What's this one? This one's it was Infinity War Part 2 originally. Now it's Endgame because we're in the Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Like Doctor House said. No, not Doctor House.
Do you reckon Peter Parker is going to come back?
Oh yeah, he's got a film coming out later in the year.
Yeah, but maybe that's like set in wherever he is in the other universe.
In the other universe.
They're going to announce like multiple universes. One where Thanos doesn't. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, one where there's the X-Men.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
One where there's the Fantastic Fours.
All I want from this film is for Wolverine to be in it. So if he's not in it, I'm 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10, no Wolverines.
No Wolverines. No Fantastic Four, good, to be honest.
I don't know, like, it's going back, they're back at Marvel now, so we could get a good Fantastic Four.
I want the original X-Men cast. I don't want this new fucking cast, because I don't like it.
You don't want Sansa Stark trying to do an American accent.
Did you know Xenia on the top is thingy? What's her called? She called Phoenix.
What? What's the fucking name?
Jean Grey.
Yeah. What's the name of the actress? I can't remember the name of the actress. It's like one of those weird names.
But her face is like so really chiseled in Goldeneye, and then it's like more roundy, and it's like she's got one of those faces.
It's because of the pixels of the video game. That's all the polygons.
No, it's like in the film, but it's like she's got one of those faces where she can look very different depending on, like.
Maybe she filled her cheek with cotton wool for Jean Grey to get look more like the comic.
Much prefer Xenia on the top's look to Jean Grey, but still.
They're not going to put Wolverine in it.
No, but it'd be, maybe just like a cameo where he just tells everyone to fuck off.
Just going to have the one swear.
Yeah.
There's a one swear.
The one swear in the film.
You can have one swear.
Deadpool, is he in it?
That I'm hoping that's the end credit scene. Like, I want like a post credit scene of like Deadpool.
Right, so that's off our beginning thoughts. We're now going to go get some pop and candies.
We're gonna flaunt the no bringing your own food in.
Yes.
Accepted rule of cinemas.
You've got a rucksack. I've got a man bag. Well, we actually both got man bags. That we're going to fill with treats.
It's a messenger bag.
Get some Easter eggs because they're on cheap.
I'm going to get some sandwich fillings and make myself a big butty.
I might get myself a couple of bacon bombs if they got some on the meat counter. Get some meat. Just get a bag full of meat.
Just eat your bag full of meat like you're in Santa Clarita Diet.
Lovely bit of meat.
Just put it in your face.
Oh, you filthy bastard.
You filthy
Get a fucking farce on.
Let's get some portable barbecues. We'll grill our own hot dogs.
So I've got some sketches which I'm going to play for you after the film, so something to look forward to. I mean, I could play them now, but we've not got... How much time have we got? Have we got enough time for sketches?
Probably not.
No, probably not. So we'll go do that.
How many of them are rip-offs of Atletico Men sketches?
None of them.
How many of
surprisingly?
How many of them are you Peter Beardsley?
Nah, none of them. I've only done 2 sketches so far because I'd rather us do sketches together rather than just me on my own doing different voices.
They've got a lot of them. I don't know what.
It's quite good. Like we can peep and creep in this thing, can't we? Because we can just like park somewhere. We can just talk about what we see.
I reckon they used to fuck hard when they were young.
Maybe they are young and just fuck so hard that
they fucked all the youth out of themselves.
Yeah, so we're looking at a couple of old people at the moment.
They're like 700. Like that's what I want to be eventually. Is just like old and still with the same person.
We really need a camera set up. Just like Tom and Karl's vlog.
He definitely picked her up in Thailand. He went on holiday to Thailand and went having her.
She doesn't speak a lick of English.
This bloke's off to scan.
You can tell by the way he's walking and looking at
And
the floor.
his like mouth breathing look on his face. He's probably one of our listeners. Oh, I got very worried then he was going to turn into Halfords, but he's definitely walking towards Scan.
Definitely a Scan boy.
people watching podcast. Doesn't really work. It's a very visual.
We give like people voices and things like that as they're walking by. Just why not? It's a thing,
I
isn't
think
it?
that's all the people who are walking by now.
So, well, more of this
We'll
to
see.
look forward to.
What we'll do is we'll put in that 3 hours later. You know that thing from
A hilarious meme, yes.
the meme. We'll put the meme in.
Are we actually recording? That's probably... Yeah, we are. That was messy. Alright, let's stop.
Stop.
Thusly, the two casters known as Karl and Tom left the automobile, or as they'd recently named it, the pod, and skipping and tripping, they first made their way to the market of super proportions called Asda. Once inside, Tom, with his hat over his eyes, blindly stumbled and trumbled in search of savoury snacks, and with shoes untied and unkempt hair blowing gaily as a nearby customer opened a freezer door, Karl, being sweet of tooth, made a swift beeline for the confectionery aisle. After a while of umming and ahhing, the pair had decided on what snacks to eat, and with a bit of luck, they'd both bumped into each other in the crisp section. It was agreed they should now make their way to the high fructose carbonated drinks, or as some like to call them, fizzy pops. Tom chose 2 drinks, a bitter lemon and ginger ale. Both were mixers, but they were cheap and so was he. Karl, meanwhile, walked in circles looking back and forth. He couldn't find the drink he wanted, and he wouldn't be settled without it. And so, with first purchasing what they had gathered, and knowing full well they had left ample time before the movie began, the unlikely duo made their way for the land known as Pound, in which Karl assured Tom was a drink he desired. Walking and talking, the pair debated on what Poundland really was, but before they could decide, they were already there. Nary a care in the world, Karl quickly ran inside to find what he wanted. Tom, hot and bothered from the walk, took off his hat and peeped inside. The light inside was blinding and was bouncing off a treasure trove of tat. Warm, stagnant air seemed to emanate from inside, which made him think it was the belly of a great beast in disguise. There was no doubt it was mimicking the look of a shop, to lure customers its food inside. This made Tom quite queasy, so he had a sit down and a sip of his ginger ale. However, memory wasn't one of Tom's stronger traits, and he soon forgot the notion he'd recently conjured and walked straight inside. Karl was stood at the self-service checkout, putting £1 in the slot on the machine. He had a smile on his face that said he'd found the refreshment to quench his thirst and satisfy his palate. Both happy, with bags bulging, set off once again, this time for the cinema. The journey wasn't long, as the cinema was next door. Firstly, they had to go to the ticket machine. The two enjoyed not having to deal with customer service, and they relished in it, and they rubbed their nipples whilst working the machine. The screen was a touchpad, and that was what they were going to do. They were going to touch it up and down, left and right, and press its buttons in and out. The ticket machine beeped in pure orgasmic pleasure and spuffed its tickety load all into their hands. Puffing and panting, Tom and Karl smiled with glee and took the tickety load in their hands and went to show it to the ticket man, but the ticket man wasn't there, so instead they just walked into the screen and found their seats. They'd done it, they'd finally finished, and it was time for their reward. And they started to tuck into their snacks as the adverts came on. And that is the adventures of Tom and Karl go to see Avengers Endgame with me, Alan Bennett. Goodbye.
Hello, welcome back. We've just been to see Avengers Endgame. I'm Tom and this is...
Karl.
And yeah, so you know who the voices are. We did do an intro before.
We're outside sofa store.
And Halford's And Corey's PC World. We've just been to Scan as well, to have a little bruise.
Sat on some chairs.
Sat on some chairs. I almost went flying back on one.
Looked at some very expensive musical equipment.
Yeah.
So we went and saw The Avengers.
Indeed.
And...
Ate lots of food. So let's just go over the snacks. I got 2 bacon butties. I got an entire packet of Seabrooks crisps. I got some chewing gum. I got a Bueno for laters. I got 2 bottles of pop. I also took some oatcakes, but I didn't eat the oatcakes. Yeah, so that's what I took snack-wise. I pretty much ate through everything. I think I got like 2 bags of Seabrooks left.
I got a pack of knockoff pop chips, Asda's own pop chips, a bag of Haribo super mix, it was, a bottle of cherry Pepsi Max and a bottle of Tango.
Sorry, I breathed in some of my ginger ale.
And a pigs in blanket sandwich. I ate all of that.
Yeah, all of it. All the big bag of sweets.
Bag of sweets all to myself.
Christ.
I'm gonna die from diabetes. That's gonna be what's gonna happen to me.
Yeah, went mostly carbs to like stop me from pissing. I was just trying to soak up all the drink.
I only needed one, and it was like during.
Yeah, but usually I for playing games with me, I'm just like every round I'm going for a piss.
Yeah. Like I missed one scene, if only like half a scene, which is mostly just explosions.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's like.
You came back and Thanos was sat down, so I told you that Ant-Man went up his bum. It's just believable, and then he kept on talking about the stones, and I was going to say the stones his hemorrhoids.
I'm thinking you said they were anal beads.
No, I was thinking more like his anal grapes.
Do you reckon if he did that, if he shoved them all up, like as Benoit balls?
It could be like Ant-Man's quest to go and get them.
No, and then he did a fart. Do you think that would be the same as him clicking?
Yeah, probably.
Just does
like a Big Bang.
Just does a Trump and half of life in the universe disappears.
Who you rooting for? I mean,
who was I rooting for in the film?
Yeah, I mean, who?
The good guys.
The good guys. No one in specifically.
I thought there was going to be more Captain Marvel in there.
Yeah, she just buggered off, didn't she?
She like disappears and then comes back for the.
Which I didn't understand, because they're trying to stop someone who got rid of half of the universe, not just the planet, but she's going helping out planets.
Like, did they tell her they were going to do all the time traveling stuff?
No, I don't think so.
So like, she just turns back. She turns up and like, they've like time traveled and got another set of Infinity Stones.
Yeah. I did at the end of Captain Marvel, because I've not watched Captain Marvel. Did she go looking for?
She went off to
Tony?
space to. So in Captain Marvel, it turns out the Skrulls are the good guys,
Right.
and the Kree are the bad guys, which is the opposite of like the comics. And then she goes and helps the Skrulls find a new homeworld.
Okay.
And then, obviously, for 5 years, because of the time jump in the film, for 5 years she's off in the universe helping planets that have also lost half of their people.
Right. But instead of like solving the problem, she's helping them how?
I don't know. I think it's just like they could only
She's
get her
just
on
like-
for so many days of filming.
Just talking to them, just like, it's
like-
going to be better, don't worry.
Don't worry, we're gonna.
She's really
get through this.
utilising her superpowers.
Here's the thing: so in a generation, they'll be back to like how many people there were.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the way the population's going. If
Yeah.
anything, it's...
Thanos' plan doesn't work because we went from like 3 billion to 7.5 billion in like 30 years, I think, something like
Yeah.
that. Like in a short space of time.
So it would solve all problems for a very short while.
Yeah, like people would stop fighting for but they'd still be fighting over resources. 'Cause, like
Yeah.
there were less resources already. Like you can't fix the world by killing half the people.
Also, it depends, like, who disappears. It's like, The poor people, are they disappearing, or is it just a mix of...
It's just we just like snap out all of the children and it's just old people.
That's not going to help, is it? Yeah. It's just a bunch of old people who can't reproduce.
We're getting looked at by a guy in the sofa shop. I think he thinks we're going to like ram-raid the shop or something.
Yeah, we're just happily planning our heist of a sofa shop. I can't think of a better shop to heist. It's like run off with the cushions.
In front of it and everything.
Right, you get the cushions, I'll get the throws.
He's walking off now.
Yeah,
I think he's going to call the police.
You better walk off.
We get surrounded by armed police.
Alfred's is coming. He's going to nut you with his big fucking polished head. Look at that dome.
He definitely had racist tattoos that he's covered up with just some black.
How much do you reckon that weighs?
Yeah.
Oh, do you just do a little pump? What? Why? We're in a confined space. I'm just going to wind the window down a bit. Oh, you're pooing yourself! Karl!
Yeah, but one of those... one of those jokes that just starts and won't stop.
Just currently blowing away Karl's stink.
God.
I think we're good. I think it's gone.
Just don't make me laugh like that.
It didn't linger, so it's not too bad.
Before we started talking about the sofa guy who was definitely eyeing us up.
I don't know.
We talked about Captain Marvel, what she was off doing, and the fact that he can't like save the world by killing half of it.
I definitely preferred a haircut, like after she got a cut.
Yeah, that's straight out of the comics as well.
Yeah,
like she cuts her hair.
She's a bit. Yeah, it suited her a bit more.
But everyone came back.
Yeah, I thought Peter Parker was a bit hammy. I thought him being like. He's a bit like Tiny Tim, really, isn't he? And then the way he just keeps going, oh, Mr. Stark, oh, Mr. Stark.
So he's like, technically, his character is now like 20 years old.
Yeah.
But like, biologically, he's still 15. And I'm guessing Ned didn't like also got snapped out of existence, and all the ones who are going to be in the new Spider-Man Far From Home, they all got snapped.
Yeah.
Like, did everyone in like Peter Parker's life get snapped?
So, do you reckon Pepper Potts had been training whilst doing her own thing? Because she came with a suit, didn't she?
Yeah, well, she won. Again, that's also why she was the comics. Because for a while she was like the
Has she ever had a suit in the films before or no?
She had one in Iron Man 3.
Ah, okay.
She also had superpowers in Iron Man 3.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I watched Iron Man. Had that Eiffel whatever song, that blue song at the end, didn't it?
Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die.
Yeah.
I am a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the colour of my hand.
So, good film, bad film? Entertaining.
Entertaining film. Like, when you get into that like final big battle at the end, like that's what you've paid for, is for like this big superhero battle. It's like when Captain America picks up Thor's hammer and just starts wailing on Thanos.
That was a really cool point when
that was
why is Captain America cooler? It's like
there was a scene I was waiting for and I knew was going to come because they
also, how can he do lightning?
Because he's worthy. If whomever shall possess this hammer is worthy of the powers of Thor.
Okay, fair enough.
And then he gets his happy ending at the end.
Well, he gets a blowjob.
Probably does off Peggy Carter. Tony Stark kind of dies, sacrificing himself to save everyone.
Yeah.
So, in that final scene, you know, where it goes back across all the people?
Yeah.
You know, like, there's all the different superheroes, like, they're all stood in their franchise. Like, and
you mean like the end credits sort of bit?
Just before, like, when it's Tony Stark's funeral, and
yeah.
they put the thing in the water and it floats off, and then the camera pans over all of the superheroes.
You got Nick Fury hiding at the back.
Yeah, there's a guy there who's like stood behind the Captain America characters, just like a young lad, and I have no idea what character that's supposed to be.
I thought Bucky looked a bit out of place, like in his hoodie.
Why is he being invited to Tony Stark's funeral? He killed his parents.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Maybe
invite the guy who killed his parents. I don't think he'd be happy about that.
No.
Considering I don't think they like met once, Bucky and Tony Stark.
They didn't have a great relationship, did
No.
they? So that's Avengers talk.
Yeah, that's Avengers talk. It's not as bad as a DC film, but it's not the best Marvel film.
Let's have a look at. We have a bit of a thing drawn up. Whilst I do this, do you want to read some of the comments we have?
Some of the comments.
Yeah, do you want to go to the comment section and read the comments from our fans?
We don't have any comments from fans.
What about fan mail?
We don't have any fans.
Any fan mail?
We don't have any fans.
Oh shit.
You can email us at an email address. I don't remember what the email address is.
Well, you can edit that in.
You can tweet us.
Twitters
at GameSlap. Is it at GameSlap?
GameSlap UK.
GameSlap UK. Fuck me. At least it's not GameSlap 1.
What is this podcast called, by the way?
I've not.
Is it the GameSlap podcast?
Future Slap from the Past.
Future Slap from the Past. Welcome to Future Slap from the Past. That's what you had to say. It's your fucking.
That's my job.
Edit. Go on.
Welcome to Future Slap from the Past.
I like how you failed on past. It's like, welcome to Future Slap from the Past. Fucking Timmy.
I might have had a stroke. What if it's me having a stroke and you're not?
I'm just fucking laughing at you.
You've not watched those adverts where it's fast, face, ass, speech.
So I drew like some quick guidelines for our podcast, and one of them was a too fast intro, which we've not had. We've had about 10 intros, at least. And none of them have featured the name of the podcast until now.
Until now.
Well, I don't think we have anything in that. Do you want to just ramble what's there?
I'm just going to... Don't leave me to ramble.
God knows where you'll end up.
I'll end up somewhere in the hills, then I'll die of exposure.
Why does the Star Wars garbage compactor exist?
Why? To compact the garbage on the Death Star.
But can't they just shoot it out into space? What are they compacting it for?
No, what
Did they reuse it? Also, why is it full of water?
No, so a monster. What I think happened is, when they were building it, that monster got on board, and it's a garbage-eating monster. So they built the room around it so it can't escape and like destroy stuff. And then like Stormtrooper just chuck stuff down there to like feed it, I guess.
So they can't get rid of it, and they just rather than jettisoning it, they just feed it. Yeah, fair enough.
That's my theory.
That's your theory. That's good enough. I'm not going to ask that.
Just questions for Karl.
Well, it's sort of just like my scribblings are just scattered throughout this book, so the Book of Wonders. Have you ever masturbated to Slave Leia since Carrie Fisher died? And if so, did her rotting corpse come to mind?
No, but if I did know, it probably would.
How many hobbit dicks could you fit in your mouth?
Do hobbits have penises?
I don't know.
Like,
are they smooth down below?
I reckon
How do they piss? Do they have vaginas, like little hobbit vaginas?
No, they don't piss.
They don't piss?
Yeah, it just like sort of recycles.
Fair enough.
They're like just completely like, they don't do any biological functions apart from eat.
Do you want to do an advert for more sponsor?
What's our sponsor this week, Tom?
Refurbishedfleshlights.com. So you can do the ad read for that.
Well, this week sponsored by refurbishedfleshlights.com.
Do the jingle.
Don't know.
Do the jingle. You know the jingle. Come on, sing it.
There's no jingle. I am no selling this. Refurbishedfleshlights.com, the number one stockist of refurbished fleshlights in the UK. Prices starting as low as $9.99 for your standard bum.
Bum. Is they cheaper than the vagina?
Yeah.
Can you not get how much is a mouth?
I don't know. They've got like what they start at.
Oh. Can you get like fantasy ones?
I'm assuming so. Like I think they just buy ones off the internet that people are selling second hand.
Have we been sent any free ones?
No.
Freebies?
Not really sent anything.
Oh yeah, that's what you always say.
You can.
Last time when we got sponsored them by refurbishedildos.com, we were always like, no, and then I came round. Desktop full of them.
Anyway, you can enter our code GAMESLAP, 2 words, games and lap. I think they might be confused about what our podcast is about.
So back to questions for Karl. Do you have a deep-seated desire to box the shit out of breasts whenever you see them?
The boxes. Should we send some of these questions to Richard Herring? No, I don't think I do. I'm not a best man.
Do you have a deep-seated desire to find a woman with a big enough vagina that you can climb inside at night and use her as a warm, moist sleeping bag?
How picky this woman will be massive.
You know, it's possible. I've seen videos.
What? Someone like just fall on climbing inside.
Yeah.
Wasn't someone like just shoving a Luke Skywalker action figure up them?
I mean, we've just watched a film that's proved anything's possible.
There's a little man in there.
Little man. You could just be a little man, boy, baby child man. Just climb up inside.
No, I've never had a deep-seated desire to find a woman with a vagina large enough that I could climb inside and use it as a moist sleeping bag.
Would you let a woman fart in your face and laugh at you if she was hot?
She wouldn't even have to be hot.
Does Leia now smell like the inside of a tom-tom?
I think she got cremated. I think Carrie Fisher was cremated.
What's a Wookiee dick like?
Bulbous and barbed. I reckon it's a bit of a chode. I reckon it looks like a bollard.
It's a bit like a dog dick. Does it come out, extend like...
Yeah, it extends out.
Out of the fur.
Well, he's always naked, so...
Because you don't see, he's not got a swinging dick, has he?
No, it's an internal one. Like, I don't think he's got external testicles. I think they're inside as well. Not that he's been like, he's had his balls cut off.
Well, we've got a bit of a... We've got a guest in, but I think I'll leave that till... I don't know, some other time.
I'm sure I hear someone in the boots.
I'm going to play some sketches. Double check the recording. Is it recording? Yes. We could pause it, but I'll just leave it in. You can just edit this bit out. If you got anything you'd like to add?
What?
You got any... Oh, whilst we're here, if I can ask you. Have you got any ponderings on the future?
On the future?
Like hype or tripe. This is a section called hype or tripe. Ponderings on the future. Is there anything you're looking forward to? Or that you think is going to be a big flop? Like, I think that new Star Wars game, I think, they're going to fuck it. What's it called? The
Fallen Jedi.
Fallen Jedi.
It's got the not Joker, hasn't it? From Gotham.
Oh, has it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's who's playing the
Fallen
Jedi. He's the Jerome.
Jerome, yeah.
The not Joker.
Got his face cut off and everything in that show.
Is he now the Joker?
He's sort of like the new 52 Joker, but I don't think he is the actual Joker.
Have they called him the Joker yet?
I think he is kind of like the inspiration, sort of.
That show's nearly over.
It's the last season.
There's going to jump forward in time.
Yeah, it wavers in quality dramatically. Has some interesting ideas.
I've watched the first episode and I'm going to watch the last episode.
Yeah.
Just to see, like, how far it goes. Like, I've seen bits and pieces about stuff that happens in that show and I
didn't really like the Enigma and Penguin gay story. It was a bit weird.
Wait, did that happen?
Yeah, there's like a...
They'd be bumming.
No, like, Thingy wasn't into it. Edward Nigma wasn't into it.
Well, the Penguin was all...
Yeah, he was all for it.
All for getting up in
his shit.
Riddle me this. What has a big penis and wants to go down on you?
I'm pretty hyped for Valve's current announcement for a VR headset that should be coming out on the 30th of this month. And then it's going to be...
Is VR not dead?
VR's... unless you've used VR, you don't know how great it is. It's fucking awesome.
VR's dead.
And they're supposed to be announcing a bunch of games for it as well, so...
Like Rick and Morty.
No, like their games.
Half-Life 3. That's what they're going to do. They're going to make Half-Life 3 VR exclusive.
Well, how many... That's going to get a lot of people on board for that.
Yeah, people are going to buy that VR headset. The second they go, oh, and release title that we've kept very secret for the last 10 years because we've been working on it is Half-Life 3, only available in VR.
Yeah. The Cyberpunk, I'm hyped for that. That's
looks interesting. Like, it's like a role-playing game.
Yeah, like a first-person sort of role-playing game made by the people of The Witcher. Who do The Witcher.
It looks interesting, but I don't have the time for that game. Like, the last big game I bought was Red Dead Redemption. And I played like 12 hours of that game.
I felt like that game was very clunky though, so...
That game was... So, the amount of places that gave it like 9s and 10s out of 10, that game is a 7 out of 10 at best.
It's probably a 9 out of 10 if you just sort of submerge yourself in that world and don't do anything else for like a month or something like that. And like... You go about doing like the routines and stuff like that, and it's like, look at all these little awesome things. But if you just got like a few hours, like or an hour a day, you can't get anything done.
Its base mechanics are terrible as well. Like the horse riding, you fall off the horse so often. And like the aiming is, because it's a fucking Rockstar game. The aiming shit. All they've got is a really cool dynamic world.
And also the travelling was a bollock as well, because it was like real time. Slowly horse trotting through like a massive map. You're like, oh god, I've not done anything yet.
I didn't even leave the first camp in that game.
No.
Like, that's how far into the game I got, which is... It's like nothing.
The multiplayer is disappointing as well, because it's like...
You just get
grindy as fuck as well.
You just walk out into the open and you get shot from miles away.
Very hard to make any money.
And then you respawn like 2 meters away from where you were killed and get shot again, and then respawn another 2 meters away from where you were killed and get shot again.
So that was a tripe thing. I mean, it was technically pretty awesome, but
technically it's a great game.
Achievement.
Unfortunately, like...
But I was never a fan of the original Red Dead, so I didn't really go into it expecting much.
The thing is, they make these games, so like Red Dead fed into GTA 5 and made GTA 5 a lot better. So it'd be interesting to see what they take from Red Dead to put into GTA 6 when that gets announced.
Isn't it going to be like a... I'm sure that PlayStation said it's going to be like an exclusive for like a while on PlayStation.
Can we not do the exclusive thing anymore?
I think they bought the rights for it for like a month or something like that.
Can we at least like let just things that are console exclusives be available on PC? Like, can Sony do that?
Well, I'm not bothering with consoles anymore, so...
Like, could Sony just like put Spider-Man on PC? Like, they could have their own store. Like, they've got enough exclusive titles that they could have their own launcher, and I wouldn't really mind.
Bluetooth is connected.
Okay, so now for sketch time with horrible sounds, which we're just going to cut this bit out.
New to HBO-MB. In the land of Westeros, there's a new cop in town you don't want to pick a fight with.
Shit, man, how am I supposed to fight a chair?
Detective Knife Chair. Take a seat. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
The job done, Casey, but at what cost, goddammit?
Ow, my ass. Goddamn, just stabbed me in my ass.
He's cutting crime in half. literally.
Oh, jeez, Nigel, you cut that guy in half.
You trying to tarnish me, rookie? Ready to weather the worst. He's here to test his mettle. I can't just sit around whilst flea-bottom scum bastards take over the city.
Careful out there, Casey. They know you're coming.
Don't worry, Chief. I'll give them what they deserve. On or two. Untarnished with a brushed metal finish.
Dispatch, we need backup, quick. There's 5 perps and they're all sat on Detective Knife Chair.
These bastards can't make my legs buckle. Forged from the fiery breath of dragons and coming soon to HBO-MB. Detective Knife Chair.
Shit, man, they ain't knives, they're swords.
Also, his partner is a mouse.
So that's
It's like Sean Bean.
yeah. He's
Sean Bean's wearing that,
reprising. Come back to Westeros to be the chair,
To be Detective Knife Chair.
Detective Knife Chair.
Looking for that. Sounds like that might be good. That.
There we got an advert from another one of our sponsors.
I'm Danny Dyer. Come by my filth rag. Danny Dyer's Dirty Daughters Magazine UK. Issue 1 comes with a cassette recording of Danny Dyer's Dirty Daughters fighting on the table. Issue 2, they're fighting on a piece of meat. Subscribe for a year and get a POV recording of one of my dirty daughters taking a hot tod on a carpet. VHS. Dirty Daughters UK. Fucking magazine, you fucking mug.
I think we found our level of comedy.
Do you know what Danny Dyer's daughter's called?
No.
Danny Dyer. His daughter's called Danny Dyer. Danny Dyer's daughter, Danny Dyer's dirty daughter, Danny Dyer.
So yeah, that's one of our sponsors.
Good that we got Danny Dyer on board.
Yeah.
Does he know what a podcast is?
I don't know. I just sent out the mass email to everyone.
To everyone.
We need to get some money.
Is there like an offer code for that so they know they've come from us?
I mean, you make one up.
Danny Dyer's Dirty Daughters 1, that's the offer code.
Let's get this show on the road.
I've been Karl.
I've been Tom.
And this has been Future Sat from the Past.
Might do some more, like maybe, I don't know, on PCs.
We'll catch you on the other side.